Well, we've just seen you playing tennis at what we would prefer to call Dwight City, Elton.
Yeah, fine,
You do all right. Have you picked up any tips off McEnroe?
Not in tennis, no.
No?
No, I haven't played with McEnroe. I've played with Connors before. I played with Billie Jean and played, when they had the ladies tournament down here a couple of years ago, I played with Martina and Wendy Turnbull.
Now, the reason I mentioned McEnroe is, of course, that we heard you'd signed him up to a recording deal.
Well, we
What's
haven't
happened
signed him
there?
up. No, we haven't signed him up. There was rumour of it. I met him in New York. I met him to a charity exhibition match he was playing for Vitas Gerulaitis, a charity.
Right.
I mentioned it to him. He said, sure, if you can get a couple of people to write a song. I mean, I'd like sort of like... I mentioned it to Chris Thomas, my producer, and he said it would be nice to get Paul Cook and Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols to write something or whatever. I'd love him to record a song called Wimbledon or something. Great.
From time to time, we've heard that you've announced your retirement, getting away from the sports side and back into music. And also there have been rumours that you're about to retire, but you always come on back. Have they been correct to start with? And if so, why do you keep coming back?
Well, I only said once that I was going to retire, and that was, I came off the road in '76, and that's after 6 years of complete bedlam and touring, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And I just wanted another side of this to stop, because I felt I was getting stale, and then I became chairman of the football club, so I had something else to pursue.
Right.
And then I got hounded into doing a couple of charity concerts in the Queen's Jubilee year. And I did one at Wembley, Wembley Pool. The one with Ray Cooper was great. There was no hassle. But right. I did the one at Wembley Pool, and I saw the equipment again, and I thought, oh Christ, am I going to go into this circus again? Because I'm only just getting away from it. And I got really great reviews for the gig, and I thought it was dreadful. And halfway through it, I said, listen, I ain't doing this anymore. It's the last show ever. Which is, a silly thing to say probably, because it's a rather sweeping statement to make. But I really haven't said I retired. I came back and did the Ray Cooper tour, which we did here in '79,
Sure.
And then we came back with the band last year. So it's a question really of dividing one's life up into what you want to do personally and having some personal time to yourself, and your career. I mean, I devoted 6 years non-stop to my career between 1970 to '76, and it stood me in good stead. And now I don't want that again. I don't really know. I enjoyed it, but I don't want that hectic side again.
You want to do it in your own, leisure or your own time.
I can really pick and choose what I want to do now. And I've had the ultimate accolades and the records going in at #1 and everything. And whereas one would like records to be hits, you can't. I've never changed my style of writing. I was always accused of being a commercial writer. In fact, I'm still writing the same sort of songs. Just
Still writing.
You get a momentum going, and everything you do is a hit. It's like a tennis player. It starts to win, or a football team. They start winning. And then sometimes you can't win. It's just parts of life's little ups and downs which you have to cope with.
You seem to have conquered everything in show business that you could. Is there one conquest that you would like to achieve?
I'd like to do a movie. I mean, I'd like to be in a movie. Not, everything I get offered is either to do with being a football club chairman. I was offered a part in Escape to Victory. They offered me $100,000. I had 4 lines and 2 nude scenes. I said, no thanks. Not as much as I'd like to have worked with John Huston. No.
The nude scenes were over. The money was no
good.
No,
forget it. No. The money was no good. You'll have to pay me more for that.
That period of time where you did Single Man, the album, and yourself and Bernie maybe never split as friends, but split musically. When was the return, and how did that return come about?
Well, the split really wasn't. It was just that he lives in Los Angeles, and I actually went into this to do a single called Ego, and I had 3 songs. And because I hadn't written for so long, I just wrote all these songs in the studio. And Gary Osborne was with me, and we wrote the songs together. And it was very nice. I didn't expect to do an album. And at the same time, Bernie was doing the same thing with Alice Cooper, and they had an album now. So of course it started the gossip mongers sort of wagging their little tongues. And it was a good break, and we've never fallen out, Bernie. It was just
small break.
And also, with Gary, I do get the chance to write some of my own lyrics or just put in ideas.
Yeah.
And I do that with Bernie now, and there's no hassle. I've written a song on the new album with Tim Rice, which is great. I'd love to write more with Tim Rice and with Tom Robinson. It's just a nice to get your freedom, and I think Bernie wants that. He wrote a couple of things on the Rod Stewart album, and I think it's good for us both.
The duet vocally now, there was Kiki D, and if it's okay with you, we'll play that song, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, in just a tick. There's another guy, France Gall. Is it France Gall?
Yeah, France Gall.
Apparently, the single was a fair hit in Europe. Would you tell us about that? Because I didn't know too much about that.
I was on holiday in Saint-Tropez. Who isn't? About a couple of years ago, and I heard this album by France Gall. and her husband's called Michel Berger. They're both huge. France has been a big star in France for 16 years.
And France is a female.
Yeah, France girl,
Right.
and Michel is her husband.
Right.
And I met them, and I said, wouldn't it be great to do a duet in French, for me to do a French song? Because I love France very much. And so Michel wrote a song, and I wrote a song with Tom Robinson, and we recorded 2 sides, one of which was #1 in France for about 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And then on the Fox album, Nobody Wins, which is originally a French song. I heard that the same summer. It's called Je veux de la tendresse, and that was released afterwards. So I had 2 records out in France in French straight away, and that did very well as well. So
It came out, Elton, everyone said, aha, here's a new direction for Elton John. Will you keep it up? And other than France, there hasn't been another duet, has there?
no, it was a one-off single. In the 70s, we used to like doing God knows we put out so many albums, but also we had a fair amount of separate singles like Philadelphia, Freedom, Lucy in the Sky, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, sadly, Stepping at Christmas. So no, it was just a one-off thing. I wrote it during the Blue Moves album, and I just said, well, it would be great for this to be a duet. It would have been lovely to have done an album with Keeg at the time, because the album would have been a monster. And I've always wanted, I'd actually done a duet with her on her new album, a track called Loving You Is Sweeter Than Ever, which is the old Four Tops thing.
Yeah.
It's nice to do those sort of things. They crop up once in a while.
Just a few questions, very quick ones here. The Goon Show scripts that you purchased, I believe, for $18,000, correct?
£14,000.
£14,000,
Yeah.
Sorry. What will you be doing with them? Have you got plans to make movies?
No, I just, when we have friends down, we just go through them and we try and act them out, but we never get beyond the first page because they're so funny.
Looking now at what's happened and looking back at what may have happened, would you have preferred to have remained Reginald White?
No, I wouldn't. Absolutely not. I haven't regretted a thing, even some of the hard times that we've had. I mean, like, this is the personal pressures and stuff. I'd go through it all again.
Beautiful. Thank you for talking to us. Is
Thanks.
there one song out of all of them that you've written, that you've had on an album that you really, really like?
Yeah, Elton song off the Fox.
What about Crocodile Rock?
Well, I mean, they always say that in Australia.
How do you feel?
All right, Crocodile Rock, fine.
How do you feel about it, though? 'Cause we'll go and have
It's
a look
great.
at
It was just, I got sued for it actually by the people that wrote Speedy Gonzales, and I had to cough up a bit of money.
Oh.
No, it's just, it was a tribute. It's supposed to be a tribute to things like the Beach and things that I loved in my past.
Certainly went down big here. Sorry we don't have Elton song.
All right.
We'll have a look at Crocodile Rock,
right.
and thank you for
Thanks
being on
very much.
Sounds. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you.
Elton John, Crocodile Rock.